right, thank you everybody. We are here, Videoguys live. I believe we're live on YouTube. We'll be having some issues with Facebook, but we'll figure it out. Today's show is the NAB Show, 100th year of NAB. I believe it is my 22nd or 23rd year, so I've been to approximately 20 to 25% of all the NAB shows that have come about. So very happy to be with you guys today. The NAB Show is a show that is done every April in Las Vegas. And the last year was the first year back from the pandemic. The show was okay, a little lightly attended. This year's show, much better attended. I believe they're reporting 65,000. So let's say the number was really 55 to 60. It was in 3 halls, the Central, North, and the West Hall. West Hall, beautiful convention hall. Long walk away from everything. I did not take the Tesla loop to get there, but very cool. It was a good show. We had vendors in all the different convention centers and all the different halls, and it was a fun show. So today's list is just some of the highlights we have of the show. Before we get into it, I just want to admit that it was more of an evolutionary show than a revolutionary show. Not a whole lot of incredible new products. You know, we saw some new introductions from our vendors that we're excited about, but nothing that's going to, set the world on fire. It's not like a brand new technology was unleashed. I was expecting to see a lot more 4K and a lot more cloud and remote workflows. They were there, but they were really there from the same people who had them already, going into the show. And quite frankly, a lot of our vendors made announcements prior to the show, so it kind of made it a little anticlimactic, but it was great getting together, seeing customers, seeing vendors, seeing people in the industry who are old industry friends. So without further ado, let's jump into our NAB wrap-up by product line. The first product line we're going to start with was BirdDog, and BirdDog did have a very cool, exciting product, the X120 wireless PTZ camera. It's an NDI HX3 PTZ camera. It does not support full NDI, but what it does support is Wi-Fi, 20x 1080p over Wi-Fi. Very cool when you want to put that camera in a spot that's not easy to get to, that's a little off the beaten path. We now have a Wi-Fi camera. We're working with the folks at BirdDog on a wireless mount with a battery plate coming soon, so you'll be able to run it, for several hours remotely. A very cool product that we're very excited about, and that'll be shipping in the next 5 to 6 weeks. Also, just prior to the show, best-selling PTZ camera we have, a really great camera, the P200. BirdDog has put on an educational bundle. Well, that camera that's normally $1999.95 is on sale for $12.95, and you're going to get over almost $1,000 worth of free software. You're going to get Comms Pro, Central Pro, and Multiview Pro. It's the educational bundle. You have to be an educator, or they have added it that you can now be a house of worship. So house of worship or educators take advantage of this bundle. Really great price. You can save a lot of money on a best-selling camera, the P200 from BirdDog. BirdDog was showing a new product that, their Fleet Manager, which I thought they could have called it like the Flock Manager, to be a little funny on what they're doing. But the Fleet Manager basically is a centralized software that lets you manage all your NDI devices throughout your deployment. This is really important for people in event venues and sporting arenas and stuff like that who might have 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 different NDI devices deployed. So Fleet Manager, very cool, very excited about that product. BirdDog was showing more than that. They were showing other new software. They've got a new version of NDI PTZ Control, an Android TV monitor app, Central 2.0 Enterprise, and their video wall software, which is really cool. The video wall software lets you take you 4 or 9 off-the-shelf HDMI TVs. You want thin bezels. You put BirdDog plates to them. Their video wall software lets you spread it over the entire wall. Super cool. They were showing one at the show, and we're going to set one up here over the next couple of weeks. In fact, right now we're speccing out and ordering the monitors. They also some big updates. 5-year warranty. If you buy a BirdDog PTZ camera now, it comes with a 5-year warranty. The Silicon 2 software is releasing imminently. Cloud 3.0 and Cloud Connect, and the Play is going to have an upgrade as well. So lots of good stuff from the folks at BirdDog. The boys down under keep impressing. JVC was one of my favorite booth visits to the show. Just prior to NAB, JVC announced that they were adding NDI HX support to their 500 series cameras. We love these camcorders. They are phenomenal units, shoulder, run and gun, great camera. It's an industry standard. The connected camera, it was the first camera. You can go to NDI, you can go straight out to the internet with it. Really super cool camera, and now it supports NDI-HX. JVC also is showing something very interesting. It's a product called the Connected Cam Studio, which is basically vMix running in an appliance for $49.99 as a mixer complete solution. You know, it's a dedicated computer. I thought it was a very cool concept. I know people in House of Worship and education have been saying, you know, I miss it when we used to have TriCasters and Wirecast gears at $5,000. It's a really hot price for those people, and I think the new product at $49.95 will be real exciting. There's either a HDMI version at $49.99 or a SDI version, which I think is $1,000 more. Also, very cool is they have a control surface. Now, if you bring that up full screen, I just want to show that this is a control surface that is not only a PTZ camera controller, but it's a control surface for vMix operators. So I know a lot of vMix people have been looking for something a little bit better, a little more in line with the kind of stuff they're producing. So if you're doing House of Worship on vMix, this is going to make your life so much better. And at $749, that's a killer price point. We think that's going to be one of the best-selling products of 2023 coming forward. They also showed some other workflow solutions. They had a compact joystick PTZ controller that is available at a special price with the purchase of 2 of the JVC PTZ cameras. Now, from what I'm told, you'll only be able to get that controller if you do, in fact, buy 2 JVC PTZ controllers. So they're using it for you to buy more PTZ cameras, but it's a cool device, and I believe the price is going to be under $500 for that controller. And then they also have their own little HD6 connected cam mini switch, you know, for houses of worship or educators who are just looking for an easy, basic cut and transition, pip and wipe mixer. Not a whole lot of frills, but a whole lot of power. And at $899, it's a really tremendous product. So very excited about what the folks at JVC are showing at the show. Atomos went really big with their Connect line. We ran a really big promotion that's still going live, where they have the Ninja V for $399, or you can get the Ninja V with the Connect for $699. That's this little puppy here. You see the two together. Oh, I'm messing stuff up. I didn't realize it was all wired, guys. Sorry about that. And then they also have the Zato Connect, the Shogun Connect. They've really invested in the cloud. And one of the things that's really cool is they have a new Atomos Edit app. It's really their own branded version of the Axle Edit editor. And it's a remote editor that'll let you do all kinds of very straightforward, fast, quick, and easy editing, so that you get cloud editing workflows now as part of the Atomos Connect bundles and the Atomos Connect workflows, along with the Frame.io workflows that we've done a couple of shows on and talked to you about before. Also, Atomos Connect now supports the Sony, I think you pronounce this Psy, but I'm not sure, Media Cloud. That's a high-end media cloud that Sony has for asset management and transcodes and things like that for their high-end Sony cameras. And that's now supported by the Atomos Cloud as well. Next up is Canon. Canon announced 2 new powerful software tools, and these softwares get loaded directly onto the Canon cameras. You don't have to run them on a laptop. And they have an auto tracking application that's really just incredible. I spent a lot of time with it, you know, walking in front of and behind other people, and it really does a great job. For $1,200, we have a video about that in a little bit. But they also have something they call looping. And the looping really is basically, I prefer to say it's like a pre-recording of your motions with your PTZ camera. So I can have a PTZ camera that I do a motion where it starts with the guys in there zoomed in, and as it zooms out, it pans across the stage, kind of like that, to get wider. And you can record that motion. You can have those motions play either in a loop or kind of like going there and back as how you want to do it. And I think that's something that I know, it makes those movements look a lot more natural. And we've talked about that a lot, that when the PTZ motions start looking more natural, like there's an operator, it's really cool. One of the things I really like about the loop is not only can you pre-record the motion, but you can actually have it start and gradually speed up and gradually slow down at the end of the motion. So it looks really, really natural. And for $800, I think it's a great deal, especially when you throw it on one of those really high-end camcorder PTZ cameras from the folks at Canon. So there's a whole video clip that you can watch that can show you about the auto tracking and the looping. I believe the segment I'm going to show you right now is just on the auto tracking, if we can roll that segment. All right, I'm back from that clip. Canon's full line of camcorders. I got to tell you, the CRN 500 and the CRN 700, high-end cameras. I know they're not for everyone. They're really for venues. But what I like to say is these are cinematic level PTZ cameras. You know, when you're talking about Canon, the word I like to use is color science. They have a degree of color and clarity and crispness and optics that just are beyond anyone else in the industry. You know, they make the cinematic cameras. I like to call these two units cinematic PTZ. And if you're really looking at a high-end venue, high-end studio, the Canon cameras are definitely worth investigating. When you add those two tools that we talked to you about before, the new auto tracking and the looping, really a tremendous asset for your new studio. If you've got that kind of budget, I definitely recommend checking out these Canon PTZ cameras. They're in a league by themselves. Epiphan's pearls. The Pearl family were awarded Best of Show. Now, I think we've got to start looking and thinking about these pearls as individual products, because I think it gets a little muddy what the features are. So I want to go through each one and really talk about what it is and what makes it so great. The Pearl Nano, we feel that's the ultimate edge device, you know, for SRT, NDI, encoding, recording, rock solid, cloud managed, and efficient professional streaming and encoding. It's a great product and a solution for any even multi-complex workflows. The next product is the Pearl Mini, which we really think is perfect for corporate video. Anything you want to do in the world of corporate video, you can record, you can stream, you can do picture-in-picture layouts, layouts with a PowerPoint or a presentation next to you with the pre-canned screen layouts. Super product, NDI HX, and now Microsoft Teams integration. And then if you're doing an event or you're doing event level work and you really want something that's not the complication and the flexibility and the feature depth of something like a TriCaster, well, the Pearl 2 is a great way to do a live event with pre-canned effects and motion and settings where you can really do multi-cameras to multi-encoding. It's a great little product. We find this gotten a lot of traction in things like government use for like town halls and town meetings, or for people who are recording things going on like in courtrooms. They're also very popular for performing arts centers where you want to have different rooms where the kids can record, you know, their piano or their guitar or whatever they're doing and stuff like that. So very creative. We know that there's being deployed also in small little event centers where you really just want to get the event out there. You're not looking for every bell and whistle and lower third and crazy effect. You're just looking to get the base production out there. And the Pearl 2, when it comes to switching, streaming, just an NDI, great product, and it is available in 4K as well with a 4K upgrade. We have been producing our shows using Epiphan Connect for Teams as a way to bring individual people in via Teams call. What makes it so valuable versus standard apps that use Teams is it will assign a separate audio channel for each guest, so we can mix minus with the audio and have the guests truly interact with each other rather than when one talks, they get clipped down and cut. Well, you know, if Teams does it, the Zoom people want a part of it. And, you know, the Epiphan people work with the folks at Zoom. And I got to tell you, they've got that same great feature with the Connect going with Zoom. And just between you and I, when you're doing video production type work, I think when you get to more than 3 guests, the Teams video quality degrades a little bit, whereas we notice with Zoom, when you have multiple guests, even up to 8 or 9 guests, the video quality stays a little bit sharper, a little bit crisper. Now, this can change in a heartbeat with, you know, the competition that's going on, but the fact that Epiphan Connect is now Zoom and or Teams, I think is fantastic. My question for them at the show is do I have to choose one or the other? Can I bring people in from both? Because for whatever reason, some people say Zoom works in my office, but Teams gives me problems, and other people say the other parts about it has to do with firewalls, corporate video settings, corporate IT settings. But anyway, I think it's super cool that Epiphan Connect is now available for both Zoom and Teams. And here's a little video about that the folks at Epiphan put together talking about the Zoom integration.
This is the future of webcasting.
The way that you appear inside of this platform is the new suit and tie.
Can Zoom Rooms become a broadcast studio if you combine it with Connect?
That's really that idea of broadcast without barriers. That's that idea of taking every Zoom room in the world and making that a studio.
You're actually getting the full quality, full frame rate, full color space fidelity in our Zoom infrastructure, and that's going right over to Epiphan.
We're really talking about the democratization of video production and really enabling individuals to have tools in their hands that help them make videos that look maybe as good as what's on CNN.
So kudos to the folks at Epiphan with that integration with Zoom. Very cool, and I love how they use the Zoom integration to show off the Zoom integration. Super cool. Next, I want to talk about a brand that we've only been carrying for, I'd say, 4 or 5 months now, but we've really had some great success with it, and that's Kiloview. Kiloview makes a whole host of conversion products for NDI, SRT, and we really love what they're doing. And I guess our time is right because they just came out with a whole new series of products based on a new rev of their chipsets. So we're really excited about the N50 and the N60. The N60 is a 4K HDMI USB bidirectional converter for $799. The N6 is an encoder converter. The E3 dual channel encoder. And then they also have the Cube R1, which is a device for multi-channel NDI video recording. And the Core, which is a lightweight version of the Core Max for managing a whole enterprise level of multiple NDI products coming in and out. So the folks at Kiloview are looking to expand to be much more than just a converter program. And this Link Deck series stuff was really cool. I went up to their booth and I played with it for probably about 15 minutes. It's so cool because each of those devices you see there is actually 6 different panels which can be added together in any order you want to give you different control of different functionality, basically be able to run and control all your NDI stuff that's in there. So very cool, interesting product for those people looking to do deployments on a large level of NDI. You can have one central control room that's kind of like a master control room, could be controlling all the different NDI devices that are there. So the Link Deck series, very cool from Kiloview. Call us for pricing and availability. One of my highlights of the show was the LiveU Studio product. Now, the LiveU Studio product is not intended for people using solos or solo pros. It's really for people using their 300, 600, and 800 series, but this was really great. This is basically video production, Remy, in the cloud, where you can put the camera people can be deployed anywhere in the country, in the world. They can all be in the same place or in different places. And a producer from a completely different remote location can be mixing the show, bringing in graphics, doing everything you need to do for that live production. And we've got a great video that's going to do a much better job of explaining this than what I just said. So let's roll that video.
LiveU Studio is a 100% cloud-native live video production solution, enabling live switching, customizable overlays and graphics, and allows for one-click multi-destination streaming, all from your browser. Grow your fan experience with digital talk shows, breaking news coverage, press conferences, field interviews, you name it. LiveU Studio allows for decentralized collaboration, meaning your talent and crew can be in different locations around the world working on joint projects or different ones, all while expanding your brand presence with secondary and shoulder content. And with LiveU Studio's easy-to-use layering system, you can add your brand's logo, custom graphics, or lower thirds within seconds, and have configurable fallback sources to help keep your production on track under any circumstance. LiveU Studio allows you to bring remote guests into your production with ultra-low latency and crisp video quality in one click. And once your content is ready, distribution has never been easier. The multi-destination feature can send it out to up to 30 channels simultaneously. And you can produce multi-language broadcasts, getting your digital content in front of more eyes faster than ever before.
All right, next I want to talk about MRMC, Mark Roberts Motion Control. One of my favorite booths to visit. These guys are the guys who make the powered sliders, the robotic camera heads, and the robotic jibs with the camera heads at the end. Really cool stuff. Just before the show, we launched some bundles with their sliders and the BirdDog P200, which are very, very cool. This is affordable slider technology. And I know a lot of people are thinking, like, why do I want a slider? Well, remember, with robotics, you have a PTZ camera that's a stationary camera that's going to, do this or this. But when you all of a sudden add the motion of that camera as well, and as it's moving, it tracks on the person, it really gives a more engaging look to the video. And I know in talking to a lot of houses of worship, they're liking to set a slider up in front of the stage isn't the right word. What's the word I'm looking for where you preach from? the podium where the preacher is, so you can slide the slider where it goes by him. It's also very cool when you're doing, your kind of CEO is doing his glamour shots, talking about his company, or when you're doing some product shots and stuff like that. So we have heard from a lot of our customers that they want more motion than pan, tilt, and zoom. They really want it to be like there's a cameraman there, like they can dolly and things like that. And that's where these MRMC stuff really comes into play. They have purchased a company that's got much more affordable stuff for doing it. Lift for QRS, and I just think LLS QRS lift. Basically, what we're talking about is smaller systems that you can install and deploy within your facility. Very cool stuff. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, give us a call, because there's a lot of pieces and parts involved in it. You got to get the right heads, the right motors, and all that. So let us help you spec out what you need. But if you're looking to add motion, either horizontal, which most of us are, even vertical motion, the guys from MRMC have so much cool stuff to show you. And of course, they also have the best auto tracking software in the world also, if you really want the most sophisticated auto tracking out there. But when you put that auto tracking software together with a PTZ camera that's moving on a slider, it's really remarkable how well that works and how cool it looks. And I just think that if you're really looking to take your production up to the next level, be it a studio, house of worship, or maybe you're doing a venue, a very cool thing to look into. Next, our friends at PTZOptics. Of course, they had some new stuff. Now, we did a whole show on the Move 4K PTZ cameras, 4K cameras, a 20x 4K zoom at under $2,000. That's tremendous to me. And remember, they have embedded their own auto tracking technology into these cameras as well. They were introducing a new product called the Link 4K PTZ camera. Now, the Link 4K PTZ camera doesn't use NDI, it uses Dante video, a new technology. Now, you're probably saying, Gary, why are you talking about Dante video? That's an audio technology, not really a video technology. NDI is video. I say, I agree. But let's say you're doing an installation in a place that already has Dante running. Well, it's a lot easier to install and set up the Dante video on top of the Dante system that's already in there than trying to set up your own separate little NDI network within the facility. So why we like this so much isn't because we think Dante video is better than NDI. Quite frankly, it's more like older versions of NDI, maybe like NDI HX2 versus where we are with NDI HX3 and full NDI. But what I really like about Dante is in that AV space, those commercial spaces where they know Dante and they have Dante audio already, it lets hooking up a PTZ camera be so simple and easy. So if you're a volunteer putting this stuff in a house of worship, they have Dante, it's a no-brainer. If you're an installer who's a local installer who's wanting to get more involved and you want to learn about NDI, but you got everyone saying, well, I don't have NDI, I have Dante, you have something you can offer those customers now, so that's very cool. And then also, PTZOptics didn't actually launch this, but they teased it. They're coming out with a new SE version of HD cameras that are going to be super affordable and really fantastic. And from what I've told, there'll be a very popular model at $999 in that product line, but I can't give you any more specifics about that yet. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for even mentioning that price point. Video Maker, they love PTZOptics. We love PTZOptics. Let's take a look at this little video. They won an award.
The best PTZ camera of NAB is the PTZOptics Move SE. At just $1,000, it offers software-enabled audio tracking that uses advanced AI to lock onto the chosen subject. With versatile video outputs, including SDI, HDMI, USB-C, and IP, it can be integrated with many live streaming systems and platforms. The PTZOptics Move SE has a maximum resolution output of 1080p at 60 frames per second. PTZOptics also offers an optional NDI HX upgrade for low latency and high-quality network video. Available in 12x, 20x, or 30x optical zoom, it also has focal range focus lock, motion sync, precision speed control, and color matching.
All right, and finally, the last booth, really great friends of ours. They had a booth at the show. It was great to see them in person because Frank and Emily were there. And that was YoloBox was at the NAB show. They're the YoloBox Pro, and they had a new version 4.2 announced. And what's really cool about the 4.2 version is it's their first stab at bonding. Now, their bonding support is for combining Wi-Fi and cellular. It's not multiple cellular bonding yet, but a cool technology. I'm glad to see them doing it because even if it's just for redundancy, That's a big help in the world of live streaming. We had a great visit with Frank and the gang. We're really super excited about the YoloBox Pro. It is a Android-based, all-in-one, portable, lightweight switcher, mixer, and field recorder, and field monitor. We've got it running over there. As you can see it right over there. Very cool product. I'm not going to pick it up because I know I'll break everything, but the YoloBox Pro for $12.99 is a phenomenal all-in-one solution. We hope to have some big news out of the YOLO folks over the next couple of weeks or something like that, but it's a great product. In conclusion, that is our NAB wrap-up show. But I also want to say that, you know, those are the news from the product lines we're already carrying. We really hope over the next 4 to 6 weeks to be introducing some new product lines to you that are new to us or maybe even new to you that we're picking up from the show. But, you know, it takes time. You don't come home from the show and magically have that product. We're not going to show it to you until we get inventory and get all the I's dotted and T's crossed, because there will be some new product lines coming to you from Videoguys. But I think it was a pretty good show overall. Like I said, you saw the wrap-up, some very cool stuff in there. Nothing, you know, revolutionary that's going to reinvent the industry like when NDI was introduced or stuff like that, but still a very important show and a very big show. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to Infocom coming up in June, and then in October we got the IBC show. So there's shows are back. It's great to see our friends in the industry, from our vendors, from our customers, from people we've known for years. I was so psyched. So many people came up to me and they said, hey, you know, you're the guy from that show, are you? I've seen your videos. I watch your videos. You're so helpful. Thank you for the information you give. I want to appreciate it. One of the comments people got was, when I walked around the Chase show, I wasn't wearing my glasses, so this is what I look like without my glasses. The problem is I can't read a thing that's in front of me. So now all I can just say is like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Gary from Videoguys. Remember, if you have any questions about any of the products we sell, you can call 800-323-2325. We'll be happy to help you. See, I couldn't even see my glasses on the table. So, guys, thanks a lot. This is the NAB Wrap-Up Show. Gary from Videoguys. Peace.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.